Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Just Let It Do podcast, where you guys can listen to a moron, a Nimrod, and a doofus ramble aimlessly about all things geek. I am Joel.
Christopher.
And Jonathan.
All right, so this is our first podcast that we're doing, and we kind of just wanted to do a quick introduction episode. So, one of the things we wanted to talk about was really how we met. I say that we're cousins, but we technically aren't. But really, who cares?
Yeah, there's like some kind of like weird.
Yeah, yeah. So our families are relatively close, or very close. Um, so yeah, from a young age, we kind of just said that we were cousins, and we just stuck with that. But essentially, Chris and I are both the same age. We're literally just 3 days apart, and how we met. I don't even know how we met, but I think we really didn't know each other's names till about the age of 10 or 11, I think.
Sure it was about the age of 10 or 11. My earliest memories of you was because you lived in your house for like your whole life, but I kept moving, was in Heathercroft. Do you remember Heathercroft?
Yes.
Heathercroft. And I
slightly.
remember my earliest memory was I was building Legos and you're like, we should build a firehouse with the Legos. That is my earliest memory. And when we lived in Heathercroft, I lived in Heathercroft up until half of second grade.
We still have pictures of you guys playing together with actually like the Ghostbusters toys and shit like that. And I'm pretty sure it was in Heathercroft.
Yeah. So I mean,
like Legos and shit.
It was like 6 years old. That's my earliest memory. So we known each other literally as far back as we can remember.
My earliest memory is, I believe it was either there or the other place that you guys had closer to. It might have been. I think it was there. I think it was your birthday party, and all I wanted to do was play with your Ghostbuster toys.
Yes.
Yeah, I think those are the pictures.
That's my
you're alone in
earliest
the room.
Yes, I'm alone in the room playing with Chris's Ghostbuster toys because
we used to have a video of that, and I don't know where it's at. I don't think we have it anymore. But we literally had a VHS where somebody went around and you literally run up to the camera with the Ghostbusters toys going.
Yes, yes, I remember that. Jesus Christ, my earliest memory. Well, I'm 5 years younger than these guys. So honestly, my earliest memory was probably when you guys were like 8 and 9, because this is when we started playing together. Because I know I was like 4 years old. Those were when Mommy was still around.
Yes.
I know that. So I was either 4 or just turning 5. And the thing is, we would play. I remember you guys used to set me up. You guys, of course, we would play Ghostbusters Ninja Turtles all the time. We'd pretend play. And I remember you guys. I was so young that I really couldn't like comprehend the story you guys were like making up. So you guys would just be like, "Oh yeah, you're right, and you got to take care of the containment unit." And we had that like the radiator or whatever the hell that thing was in the basement. That you guys would be like, "Yeah, that's a containment unit. Go ahead and take care of that." Like that. Those are definitely like the earliest memories I remember of us playing together and shit like that.
So from the time that we were younger, Chris and I remember Chris and I we'd be going to each other's houses. All right, really, our parents would be going to each other's houses because our parents were, both our parents were good friends of each other's parents. So like I said, Chris and I we really didn't know each other's names until we were about 10 or 11, and before that it was literally just one of us walking up to the other one saying, "What do you want to play, Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles?" And then we would just go and start playing.
It's crazy because like I would literally see Joel walk through the door, and my brother's like, "Hi," and you would be like, "Hi," Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles. Like literally as soon as both our parents are like, me or my grandparents and his parents are meeting each other like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? It's been a while." And meanwhile, the whole time, Joel and Chris, my brother, are just, they're like, "Hey, we want to play Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles." Like immediately, as soon as you guys walk through the door.
I remember a couple times me just going to Chris and Johnny's house in Atlantic City when they were living there, and I don't even think I said hi to your parents. I think I literally just walked
That's what I'm
into
saying, yeah.
what your playroom
Yeah.
was. You guys would be playing video games. You guys would be playing Sega, and I wouldn't even say hi. I would just literally walk into the room. Like the door would be closed. I would literally open the door, walk in, Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles. You guys would stop playing, and then we would play Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles.
We were very much active kids too. We always played. It was rare that we played video games. It was much like later in our lives.
Yeah, later on. Yeah.
And definitely much later in yours. Where we started playing video games and like actually relaxing. And other than that, it was just story. Stories like us. I'll be Egon, you be Peter, he's Ray.
I'm little Ray, just taking care of the
I'm Donatello. I'm Donatello, Johnny's Leonardo, and you'd switch between Michelangelo and Raphael.
You couldn't stay one character.
You'd be like real friendly and super happy Michelangelo. Halfway through, you'd just be Raphael, just be angry.
We did a lot together, and of course we like delve into so many things, like besides just Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters.
One thing that I did notice, I remember going, like one time Johnny asked me to ask you something or to grab your attention, and I knew the character you being was either like Peter or Mikey or Raphael. That's what I would call you. I had no name to go off of. Like I legit had no. And I'm like, I don't know what this kid's name is. He's just my friend. He's
just Raphael. Like Michelangelo over there.
Like that's how we played. That's all that matters to kids.
That's exactly it. You were always Egon and Donnie, and and that's the name that I knew for you at that time, and then somehow we figured out each other's names at some point.
Was there? I mean, I remember when I was younger. Was there like literally just a miscommunication between you two? Because I remember I always knew your name. Like from what I can remember, I always knew you were Joel.
Well, mind you, by the time you were born, we kind of like we were there. We were always around.
Actually, but by the time you started playing with us, because you were 4, you didn't really know his name. By the time you were 5, we were already 10. By that point,
we knew each other's names.
We chose those names between Mama and Papa, our grandparents telling me, that's Joel, like that's the friend that you played, this Joel, and his family going, oh, Pito, go with Pito and Johnny, go with Pito and Johnny, that we finally picked up. Yeah. You called me Pito for the longest time until you hit like.
Yeah, I
16 or 17.
I was always calling you Pito because for a long time I thought your name was literally Pito. I didn't know that was just your nickname. That your real name was Chris. Because that's what families always did was call each other by the nickname. So I didn't realize that your name was Chris for a while, and then I don't know why, but somehow somewhere along the line I just started calling you Chris because I guess that's it's like the same thing like with me like. You guys know me as Joel. My family knows me as Joel. Everybody at school and at work, my name is Joel because that's how you say it in English, but Joel's how you say it in Spanish. So now I refer to myself as Joel most of the time because I don't have the time to I don't feel like going in and saying, well, my name is really exactly. So So it's really close personal friends and family that call me Joel. Everybody else just calls me Joel at that point.
Yeah, and actually I like that because both John, and myself's middle name is Ivan, and I would go by Ivan in school when I work because I got tired of people going, "Oh, Chris, do you remember me?" I'm sitting there like, "No, I don't remember who you were." So I finally realized halfway through college, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be Ivan. Told all the teachers I'm Ivan, and when literally one time. I think I was with Josh and you. We go to Denny's. Somebody's like, "Oh, I remember. You remember me?" And I'm like, he goes, "No. I think we went to ACCC together. You had a weird name. You had like a really cool name, Ivan." And I'm like, "Yeah. We definitely went to ACCC together. Yep, I remember you. Yeah, we had that class together. that class. Yeah." And it helped me out. And then anyone who called me Pito, I knew it was a family member. As we got older, it went from playing things like us to playing video games and then playing video games and then playing like us right afterwards.
We always had a bunch of toys, like all of us. So Chris, Chris and Johnny always had. I think Chris and Johnny always had like not the play sets, but they had the toys that you would use yourself. So like when we would play Ghostbusters, Chris and Johnny, I mean we all had proton
Like
packs,
yeah,
but
the little proton
yeah,
packs
but they had like all the Nerf guns and ray guns and stuff. So when
the
we played
swords.
and the swords, so when we played Ghostbusters, we played as us, and then I had a lot of action figures and play sets and
Yeah,
stuff. So I had
yeah,
like the
yep.
large play sets and everything. So yeah, when we were younger, we'd always play. It was always Ghostbusters, always Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles for like the longest time, and
Mhm.
And
then
then when we
we
got
would
into
play
video games,
X-Men.
X-Men,
X-Men.
Resident Evil.
Yes, X-Men
Yeah.
and Resident Evil.
Actually,
Yes.
speaking of Resident Evil, I
On the
remember
walkie-talkie?
specifically. No. All right. So, well, what was that the thing with the? No, I can't.
That was at my house,
Yeah,
and we were
yes,
playing Resident
Resident
Evil.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, two
With
things
walkie-talkies.
with
I
two
think
things
it's the
with
first time we were playing with
when
walkie-talkies.
we really got into Resident Evil, that was fun because I remember specifically to this day when you guys were playing Resident Evil 2, when you guys were in the dark and you you remember you had that Hulk bopper thing, like that thing that you would punch and it'd come back up.
Oh yes, yeah.
Well, you were holding that like sitting on the bed because you were afraid that like if anything came in, you would like bop it with the Hulk thing. um, and I remember we started to play like us, like we would like pretend play. And the first time we played is when we had the walkie-talkies. And of course, these motherfuckers, if you want to tell the story, because you remember it quite vividly.
There's three parts to this story. All right. There's my part. I'm sitting far away in this room with the walkie-talkie.
By the way, we're using walkie-talkies because we're trying to get the whole like survival, zombie survival feeling going on.
So I'm over here and I'm asking my brother, "Hey, can you hear me?"
It was Star Wars walkie-talkies too.
Yeah, it was Star Wars. So I go, "Can you hear me?" And I see Joel fall off the bed, start cracking up hysterically on the floor. I didn't understand what was going on. Well, then he explains it to me.
So yeah, we were testing out the walkie-talkies. Chris is trying to talk. Chris and I were together in one room, and Johnny was in another room, and we were testing the walkie-talkies. So Chris is going, "Johnny, can you hear me? Johnny, can you hear me?" I started laughing because Chris didn't hear it, but over the walkie-talkie, Chris is going, "Johnny, can you hear me?" And Johnny responds, "No, I can't." And so I'm laughing because why would he say no he can't over the walkie-talkie when he obviously heard us?
The thing is, when that happened, the reason why, like, I remember specifically why I said it. Like, thinking about it, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. But the thing is, I remember because I could barely hear you, but I heard you say, "Can you hear me?" So I went, "No, I can't." And this one just fucking died laughing.
Well, I mean, it's just you could have said yeah, but the volume's low.
Yeah,
but
no.
because you're a little kid,
And
you're
the
not
thing-
like thinking like that. You're
No,
just like,
I
no,
can't.
I can't.
Another time I remember specifically when we played like us, we all chose characters from the Resident Evil cast. Now, I'm familiar. We had like Chris, Jill, Leon, Albert Wesker, all that shit. So
And real quick,
mhm.
as we played Resident Evil, Chris was always Chris Redfield, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
I was always Albert Wesker
Because of fucking
because
sunglasses.
he had I had apparently an obsession with characters that always wore
sunglasses
sunglasses. So yeah, I was Albert Wesker
And-
because he always had sunglasses on.
And my favorite character was Leon as Kennedy. So we all played our characters. I'm like a little fucking kid, Leon. Didn't know what the fuck is going on. And you guys, of course, you were Chris, and you were acting normal. And this one was like, I want to be Albert Wesker, but I want to have a metal arm. And I remember specifically this one time we were playing, and you're being Albert Wesker with a metal arm, a cybernetic arm, and you pretend you punch a pillar, and you're like, damn, remind me to fix that later, or whatever. Like, you just broke like all immersion.
It was over. We were dying at that point.
I can imagine Albert Wesker. Remind me to fix that later.
But yeah, that was basically us. And when we were younger, and then now, life happened, and unfortunately we don't get to hang out or talk as much. But every time we do, it's like no time has ever passed, which is always great. So yeah, we kind of decided to just build up this create this podcast to talk about anything that is geek related. So, we're going to have a couple podcasts for, Ninja Turtles, both the old and the new, Ghostbusters, X-Men, anything comic book related.
Marvel, DC entirely. I mean,
yeah.
we
Comic-
grew up on. We grew up both. Actually, I'm not sure if. I don't think your brothers were ever into it.
Not so much the comic
But
book
my
stuff. No.
uncles,
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
our uncles, they were heavily into it. One was a Superman fanatic. Superman could do no wrong, and the other one was a Spider-Man fanatic. Spider-Man could do no wrong.
So we had,
Still to this day.
To this day, still to this day.
Yeah, to this day they're like that. So it was literally both like total polarities like playing on each other. Like we had the completely Marvel uncle, and we had the completely DC uncle. So literally, I feel like our lives was heavily centered on superheroes. I remember X-Men, Superman, Batman, the Justice League, Aquaman.
We knew. I remember knowing characters that I know Joel didn't know about. Actually, and if you did, it was for the same reason that we know about it. My uncle used to collect cards, always DC cards and Marvel cards, and the ones that he didn't collect or didn't want, he'd give to us. So we knew about Blue Beetle, Booster Gold. We knew about Silver Sable from Spider-Man.
Deadpool.
No one knows that.
Deadpool before he was
we
even
knew
a fucking
Deadpool before
face.
he was. We
Yeah.
always know, like when he started getting popular, we were like, hey, look, it's Deadpool.
Look, Deadpool! Finally, he's getting some recognition. I remember Morbius, the living vampire, always a fan of Punisher. You know what I mean? Like even like before they're like a lot of those characters came up in the 70s and of course the 60s.
We had the encyclopedia from Marvel and DC.
Even before they were like face superheroes.
Yeah.
Everyone always knew Superman, Batman, shit like that. But of course Deadpool before now fucking everyone's crazy for fucking Deadpool.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, shit like that. So yeah, me and my brother Chris were always heavily into comic books.
And then as Joel and I, when we started becoming teenagers, anime.
Yes.
Anime became the big thing, yeah, for us. I mean, obviously, Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I remember watching the first time I saw anything Dragon Ball Z related was at your aunt's house, and Chris and Jonathan's aunt is my godmother as well. So, but we went to her house when her and Rob were together.
Yes, up in Tuckahoe.
Yes, so we were there.
Almost got ran over by deer.
So we were there. I remember we went to go visit, and I think it was there. The first time I saw Dragon Ball Z was the Tree of Might movie.
Yes.
I remember that.
Was that really the first thing you ever watched?
That was
Dragon Ball Z?
the first DBZ, first anime I've ever seen.
Wow,
was
that's crazy.
Tree of Might DBZ was the DBZ movie Tree.
No wonder you got so into it. I mean, that was a good movie.
Yeah. So that's how we started, and then I remember we would constantly go to Suncoast Video at the mall to start looking for anime because that was really the one place you could get anime.
By the way, old-fashioned sentence. A fucking video store.
We went to a video store, yeah.
Yeah. So, which by the way, I saw a picture Kevin Smith posted on Instagram of him going to one of the few Suncoast videos that was up in North Jersey still.
Really?
There was a mall in North Jersey that still has a Suncoast video, and he took a snapshot of himself going at Suncoast.
That's great because I would
I think
go
it was.
there.
I don't know if he was alone or if he was with Jason Mewes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or not. But yeah, he had gone. Yeah, he took a picture of that. So yeah, I gotta find where that's at, and we might have to make a trip there one day. Yeah, we'd constantly go into Suncoast, and even when we wouldn't buy anything, we would just look around, and we would be like, I don't know how many times we would go there. Every time we went to the mall, we'd go straight to Suncoast, and we would probably be in there for like an hour and a half, just looking at everything between all the animes, all the just the regular movies, all the posters that they would have.
Yep.
They would have figurines and stuff, like collectible figures. We would constantly be in there and looking at stuff. And I remember some of the animes that we would buy. I remember specifically when we first bought Golden Boy.
I was just gonna say, look, like we're not endorsed by anybody, but if anyone knows what Golden Boy is or can get it, get it.
No, seriously, highly recommend if you want a man's anime.
Yeah, it's a man's anime. Make sure you're a man. Man's anime.
That focuses on the mindset of a man. Get that? It's fucking hilarious. Actually, I wanted to mention, since you were talking about Tree of Might, first exposure to anime, me and my brother grew up first watching Sailor Moon
Absolutely.
And that's when I fell in love immediately with the art style, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? And I remember someone told me, I can't remember who the fuck it was, it might have been you, that's Japanese cartoons. And I was like, what the hell? Like, we get Japanese cartoons? And I called that forever. I used to call them just Japanese cartoons, and then I figured out they were called anime. But yeah, Sailor Moon, and then shortly after, I got into Dragon Ball Z. And the thing is, me and my brother watched the entire Saiyan and Frieza saga when they were first airing. I remember, for anyone who remembers the Ocean dub, that was the Canadian Ocean dub.
I remember the Ocean dub. I got used to those voices. When they came back out, I'm like, the voices seem weird.
Yeah, and then in the middle of the Frieza saga is when, or the making saga, whatever you want to call it, they switched to the Funimation dub, which is the one we all know and love now. And I remember I got fucking pissed off at first because Vegeta's voice, I hated in the beginning, which is Chris Sabat, I think now, who plays Vegeta. And Piccolo and Yamcha and like 5 other dudes, Kami. But I remember I loved Vegeta. So Kakarot, and he had like that like really snotty villain voice. I loved it. And then when he changes the voice like that was basically Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho. I got pissed off, but I was still in love with the anime. I watched the entire Namekian and Saiyan saga. Fell in love with it.
We even recorded it.
I remember I remember to this day, Cartoon Network, 5 o'clock every day. I would come home, start doing my homework, sit down, and watch Dragon Ball Z every fucking night.
I remember we started recording some of the Dragon Ball Z stuff. I remember watching Sailor Moon and being in love with it and finding it hysterical. I always liked Sailor Moon more than Dragon Ball Z because
Your excuse.
No. It was short to the point. It was funny.
Yeah.
But other people used to be like, "Oh, that's a girl's anime. You're a girl." So I always went, "What sounds?" Mind you, I'm only like 13 at this point. I'm like, "What sounds hotter to you?" Just out of curiosity. Big, muscular men sweating, punching each other, or a bunch of women with mini skirts. And every kid would be like, "Oh, the chicks." And I went, that's why I watched Sailor Moon and not Dragon Ball Z. And all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, that's different." That was my thing.
Yeah, myself included, I would have to say that when I first saw, like I said, Dragon Ball Z Dreamlight was the first exposure to anime that I had. My second exposure would have been you watching Sailor Moon.
Okay. Yes.
So I myself included was like, all right, that's a chick thing. But now I can say that I was completely wrong because Sailor Moon actually was a good fucking anime.
It was just hysterical. It was just funny. Like for kids, it would have worked well.
It was a good anime if I were to watch it.
Retrospective, it was good.
And then what was after Sailor Moon? It was Gundam Wing, right? Because Gundam Wing came after Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
That is what that heavily influenced me.
Gundam Wing, and then after that, what I also heavily got into was fucking Yu Yu Hakusho, which is to this day
1 or 2.
My second or favorite anime of all time, but we'll get into that later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. So anime, comic books, Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles. What else? Some shit. Of course, me and my brother heavily into video games. Joel has played his fair share, not as much as
Jack.
Yeah. We got some stories with video games, and then we go way back to original Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Joel always had the Nintendo. We had the Sega Genesis, so we always had both sides. Okay, he's losing it. Here we go.
Friday 13th.
Friday 13th and Punch Out.
Oh, Punch Out, yeah.
Anytime Joel lost in Punch Out, he would punch out the Nintendo.
No, not even. But specifically, I remember one time Joel was playing the original fucking Punch Out. And this was, God, how long ago was this?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Like, this
is
when
you were 4 or 5.
We're about to be 32, so it's at least, I don't know.
It was 25 years ago?
27 years ago.
All right, so this was a long time ago, okay? And he's playing Punch Out, and I remember, I think you might have been fighting Mike Tyson.
I don't think so. I don't think I ever got to Mike Tyson.
Really?
It was probably
the guy before or something. I remember it was someone super fucking tough. And you were getting.
It was probably the Japanese guy, which is like level 3 or 4.
Okay, or maybe that.
I think
or something.
That's as far as I ever got.
Right, so anyway, he's getting fucked up regardless. Okay. And he's playing the game. He's getting frustrated. What the fuck? Cursing out a storm.
Mind you, he's only like 10, 11, or 12 at this point.
He's cursing
up a storm.
All right. And he's playing the game, and every time Mario was the ref in Punch Out, and he would come out and do that. And he would do the little thing, and I remember one day specifically, you were like, "Fuck this!" and you grabbed the Nintendo, you literally lifted it up and smashed.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I remember that.
I was an
'cause, like,
angry
you're like,
child.
fuck!
Yeah, I was.
And it fucked up the game.
Yeah, gee, can you think it fucked up the game? The whole thing paused. It got like
Yeah.
it did those random color pixelations through the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah. The old classic bugs.
We really had some really good times as
Yes,
kids.
yes. I have to say
And,
we were pretty.
We had good times as kids, but we felt that it would be good for us to, as an outlet and as a, just another excuse for the three of us to really hang out, create a podcast and just talk about the things that, we like and things that we know other people like. I feel like we have something, some kind of input or something to say about this stuff, and, I think some people would appreciate what some of our insights. So.
I mean, it also helps mostly for us as well because there's some memories that we remember sometimes and then it kind of fades away.
Yeah.
Looking back on this would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that we just talked about just now that I completely forgot about. So
Yeah.
it's always good to have those memories come back. So with that said, I think we're going to wrap up our first podcast, and we hope everybody stays tuned for our next couple podcasts, and hopefully we'll keep doing this.
And thank you guys for listening, and just let it do.
All right, just let it do.
Just let it do.